Are you bringing the coffee?
Everybody, they put everybody.
It's my job is to take some
And I complained about this.
Sure.
Alright, good morning class. Anyone hear me? It's a big venue, there's 400 of you in the room.
Yeah, I enjoyed the fact that you were recapitulating and establishing where the students are. I've come to realize how important that actually is and something that's lacking in my practice.
That's the one description, so it's not just literal but those are the what is the
Dit is die op X.
yeah.
Because they didn't have the content knowledge, they were often sending students in the wrong direction. So I abandoned that, actually. You would have to work quite closely, I should imagine, with the writing center.
It can be majorly be ascribed to the inputs from you and from the way in which you've done it, the way that you, sometimes we were quite stupid and ignorant and struggling and the way that you did it, and I really appreciate it, and I mean it from my heart.
But maybe what you should try to make it a little bit more interactive is let students act it out. You know, because that tone is actually the role player. And you could actually do that, you know, have the students become those molecules or whatever.
And I should get some costumes for the sodiums and
you know.
If you cast your minds back to my concept map, I'm really focusing on this time period here. And I want to highlight the extent to which social factors have influenced our thinking about the concept of culture.
I hadn't really thought of any negatives, so I'm pleased to say you get a positive report card from me.
Just as a sort of afterthought, you said that you had tried to do something with power.
I thought about trying to do something with the concept
I remember
of power
from many years ago, and I'm talking now at least 25 years ago, I used to teach a course called Culture, Power and Wealth. And we had access then already to games. I don't remember the details, but I remember the one was about distribution of wealth.
Okay.
And actually we came into the tuts, each of us had a bread that had been sliced into slices. And then they had to make decisions about how to distribute that bread amongst the group. That seemed to work very well.
I think for future workshops, any kind of exercise that you're going to be doing, perhaps the organizers should make available little programs like this, because you know it's just just speeds up things so much when you have this available to you. So so it's not just the CMAP software, but anything else that you may think would be useful for participants to be able to use.
And I think what Kevin also discovered is what I told you before when he asked me how easy is it to use this. I told him it's intuitive. It's the normal right-click business. It's the normal changing of format, style, font, whatever you want to do. And the wonderful thing is you can move it around, as we said. Instead of redrawing your map all the time, you can move it around, you can see it. And then there are more advanced features if you link to the internet. So to ask, please help me, I can't get a linking word that is suitable. So I think it's worthwhile.
And also besides that, I mean, it wasn't just a case of entering the content. Eventually, it became so easy that I started playing around with the look and style of things. I mean, which is really secondary to what you were doing, but it was just something that when you actually got to constructing it this way, because it was so much faster, I wanted to actually sit and invest more time into the look and feel.
My learning outcomes is students should use different relevant teaching resources effectively, as well as teach different lessons in Afrikaans confidently and effectively. I could have combined the two. Now I found it helpful. So when I go back now and looking at how I assess students, that I need to be very careful and give them exactly what I will be looking for when I develop a rubric.
I think perhaps a little bit of consolidation at the end and more explicitness make the learning outcomes perhaps a little bit more explicit. But anyway, I think it's a good attempt.
Yeah, I thought your presentation was very well organized and well paced, if a bit fast. Good voice projection, not a huge amount of eye contact, and lots of hand gestures indicating.
Yeah, to latch on to what Juliana was saying, it's just about, again, how do we develop or create the epistemological axis?
I just go there, deliver the subjects, and any questions, another aspect.
I think it was a bit mediocre, I'm sure because of nervousness in some instances.
Yes, but
those who fail to improve their writing to get proficiency is contradictory to the whole philosophy of formative assessment.
I can add also, in our department we use rubrics, but never as detailed as this. It's very basic rubrics. The criteria are judged, and there's a scaling mark, 1 to 10, and you equate based on what your feelings are about a particular outcome. You grade. And then, of course, these are just tallied up. So we've always used very basic rubrics, and perhaps that needs to be relooked at. But I suspect that there will be a fair amount of resistance.
Yeah,
too detailed.
It's not easy.
Too detailed.
And what I really learned is what you said, that I expect the students to perform, but they don't know on what level. I've done it always. I've given them this sheet that according to which I will mark, but it's very much like your rubrics. You see, very high level, and now for the first time, I am telling them exactly what I'm looking for: behavior and content and whatever. All of it must be there.
And it's not going to happen in one session, in one lecture session. I mean, we're talking about students here, so.
And I think we need to be quite sort of off-faith.
So how many sessions are you going to take?
Or you could have it doing them in the old time by just putting something on e-teaching site and saying like, this is the assignment. Have a discussion for them.
The e-teaching site. And how many of the students? I mean, we have a computer lab at Tigerberg, and I wonder how many of them really use the computers, because assignments are always late. Then there's problems with printers, so then they run to the secretaries of the departments to print it all in the last minute.
I thought that there was a very good rationale for the podcasts. It was very clear to me where you were going with this. And your use of a natural way of speaking, sort of the way you connect and the way you sort of deliver things. I thought your voice and the projection came out quite well.
To try and get a sense of what the whole class, where the whole class is at in terms of some basic knowledge. And that's what I wanted to try. I mean, because I do engage the class, but it's very much Q&A, and that's, you get the few more confident people, maybe 20 speaking out of 200, and it's difficult to know what the whole class where the whole class is really at. It would be even better if we could have if we could have done it to the plenary, and we could have used the full range of the technologies available to us. It'd be more like a proper lecture, and then we would have had the benefit of, we could have tried to, had a more realistic.
We've been doing this automatically in class, but now this exercise is challenging us to think again and look again at our outcomes and change it so that it can be explained to our students. Our students can understand what they're going to do.